Okay, this is a quick tutorial on how to get your static meshes from Blender into Unreal Engine, and also how to UV unwrap them so that your textures fit, and set up materials so that you can add materials in Unreal Engine onto your mesh. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my mesh. I want to make a little cat grass container. So what I want to do is add, so I'm going to go to create and add the cylinder, move it up so it's about level with the ground, and then scale it so it's a bit smaller. And that'll do. Let's check my angles. Yeah, that'll work. So here we go. All right, so now what you want to do in order to UV unwrap this, and for a quick explanation of what that is, like if you look at a sphere of the globe and apply the map texture to that, the map texture isn't going to work out really well from a 2D standpoint to a 3D standpoint. So you have different things like the Homolocene projection, which is like your standard orange peel cutout kind of thing. Also the Robinson projection is another way to deal with this. Just to drive the point home just a little bit further, this is like adding a 2D texture to your 3D cube. We're going to do something like that with our cylinder. So we'll go back to Blender. What I want to do is zoom in real quick. Go into edit mode, hit the line selector, and I want to cut out the sides of this and make it like a rectangle basically. So I'm going to select one side and then go around and select the top. That works. And then shift, click a side, shift, click the top. Let's see, I think Alt Shift will click everything in a circle. So that's what we want. So if you look at this, you have a rectangle and then two circles, and we want to cut that out so that our 2D projection fits one of those two circles in a rectangle. And how you do that is go to Shading UVs, click Mark Seam, and you'll see this line goes red. And then that's our seam. So in order to look at our projection onto 2D, I'm going to make a second window from dragging from the top right and go down to this bottom left-hand view editor, click UV image editor, and clear out the render so we have a blank square by clicking that little X that was down there. I'm going to go back to Shading UVs and hit Unwrap by selecting this Unwrap dropdown, clicking Unwrap. Well, I guess first I need to select everything and then click Unwrap. So this is what we want. But for some meshes, since we scaled it and we kind of edited it beforehand, we want to make sure that that scaling and location is applied. So before I accept that, I want to go into object mode and click Control A and apply my scale and my location. Objects have no data. There we go. We have to select the object first. Scale, location, and then I'll go back into edit mode, just click A to select all, and go ahead and unwrap again. It won't really change it for this simple shape, but that's what we want. So this square is how your 2D texture is going to fit onto this shape. So another thing that we want to do is we want to make kind of a cat grass box. So I want the sides to be made out of wood and I want the top to be grass. And I want to do that all in Unreal Engine. So I'm going to deselect everything. Go ahead and close this window by just dragging it away. I should have dragged it down. Here, we'll go to the regular editor. How do I do that? 3D view? Okay. And to get to the materials, it's going to be this little circle here. So while in edit mode, I want to select this. You see we have no materials here. So I'm going to add one, and I'm going to click new, and I'm going to name this the top. Well, I'll name this grass because this is where my grass texture will be. And I'll make another one, and I'll name this wood because that's where the wood texture will be. And if you want to kind of see how you're applying these to your shape, you can go click Settings, Viewport Color, and I'll change the wood to red, and I'll change the grass to green so we can see it as we apply it. You can see that right now everything is set as the top texture. So we will click on wood, and we want to go to the face selector and select all of the faces that we want to be wood, which this might take a little while. I'm sure there's some hotkey to select all of these at once, but I don't really know what it is. So all of these are going to be little wood panels, basically. And we'll also get the bottom, and we can see that everything but the top is selected. So I'll click on wood and assign, and you see that turns red now. So whenever we export this, Unreal Engine is going to see two material slots, one for grass, one for wood, and it's going to apply the grass texture here and the wood texture there. So this is all ready to export. We'll go ahead and click File, Export, Export as FBX. I'm just going to name it Cat Grass Mesh. And to get it to work with Unreal Engine, the first thing you want to do is scale it up, because this is going to be really small. So I always scale everything by 100. And you also need to change the axis from -Z forward to X forward so it faces the right way. And I always apply smoothing on the face. And that's it. Go ahead and export that. That's good to go. So if we pull up Unreal Engine, and we can just drag and drop our cat grass mesh in, importing, just click import. Everything should work. No errors. And if we double click on this, we now see our two material slots, grass and wood. So to apply that, I'll just click on it and search grass and click the starter material brown grass. And for wood, we'll do the same. And I'll just choose oak, I guess. All right, save, close. And now we can just drag it into our scene, and we have our little cat grass box.